What's the one loss in your fandom that's left a mark that's still not gone away and will never go away? You got one, Brockman?
Yeah, no doubt.
Which is what? Which one for you?
Giants Patriots Super Bowl 2007. That's perfect season. That's immortality. That's greatest NFL team of all time.
The one for me, it's I'm going revolving in my head. For me, there's three of them. The Cordell Stewart Hail Mary to beat Michigan
Makes sense.
In the Big House.
Yep. 70 yards uncorked.
There's also the Harbaugh's first year as head coach at Michigan, getting ready to beat Michigan State and put Michigan officially back on the map, and then they can't even get the punt off. There's the timeout game against North Carolina.
Yep.
And then for baseball, for me, it was losing to the Seattle Mariners in the 1995 playoffs. Wound up being Don Mattingly's last baseball game in the Kingdome. Win or go home for both teams. And
Griffey Jr.
Griffey Jr. comes around off of Jack McDowell, who was in the game as a reliever. That one still leaves a mark to me, and also is proof why, Rivera is one of the all-time greats. Last night's a perfect example.
Yeah.
That was a wrap. That was a wrap if Mo strolls to the mound. I'm wondering what yours is, 844-204-RICH. Number to dial. I mean, those are just four off the top. I was in Redding, California, where this show is heard every day, as the 5 p.m. and 11 p.m. sports anchor for KRCR Television.
Spirit of the North State.
Spirit of the North State, Channel 7R. And I was in my apartment, the one where the people on the other side of my wall were complaining because they said I slammed my cabinets too loud. I'm not a cabinet slammer. They just didn't have those. They didn't have those little pads.
Yeah.
And I was making like $7 an hour. By the way, literally, I wasn't going to go buy pads for my cabinets.
No.
By the way, here I am airing neighbor grievances in Redding, California, 25 years later, almost. But I remember snapping the television. I sat in the dark. I sat in the dark after when Griffey Jr. scored. Musburger did the call. Brent Musburger doing a baseball game.
Love that.
And I snapped it. I stared into space silently in a darkened room for minutes on end.
Yeah, that was me, 03 ALCS Game 7.
Well, Aaron Boone, right?
Boone walk-off.
It was amazing.
Sat in the dark for about 5 minutes.
Well,
at my friend's house, sat in the dark, then didn't say goodbye, just got up and left.
Well, obviously, Minnesota Vikings fans would point out losing the year that they all thought that they were going into the Super Bowl in '98, that losing to the Falcons in the NFC Championship
Only
game.
kick Gary Anderson missed all season.
Right. And there's a Blair Walsh moment as well. But on the flip side, Minnesota handed the New Orleans Saints one that the Saints fans, I mean, think about it. All due respect to our coordinating producer, Don Bowie, who's a big Saints fan. Back-to-back years. To go out in the playoffs like they did in Minnesota, and then last year, the NFC Championship game, those
are tough beats.
That's being sucked out on the river. That's for sure.
Big time.
So I wonder what is yours, Mike? Do you have one? Is it Seton Hall, Michigan?
89, being there, and it was insane.
In the Kingdome?
Yeah. It's got to be. I mean, that's it. That's my only one.
What's the one sporting event in your life that the loss by a team that you were rooting for that you still can't get over to this very day? In any sport.
It's been a long time since I really rooted, but
any sport.
We're a big Syracuse basketball family.
Okay.
And I don't think I've gotten over Keith Smart yet. I have to admit, I can still see the Derek Coleman clanking the free throw and Keith Smart hitting that shot.
Indiana.
That's the one still sticking in my memory bank.
There you go. What's up, Wade?
Hey, not much. Thanks for taking the call.
Thanks for making it.
Got 3 heartbreaking losses.
Okay.
A diehard Kentucky fan, so obviously 92, Christian Laettner, the shot, which CBS reminds us of every single year.
Sorry, Doc.
So, yeah, I see that. One of the reasons why I can't stand March sometimes is that. Second one, 2010, Calipari's first year, lead 8 against West Virginia in their funky zone. We go about 0 of 3,000 from the three-point line, lose that game. And then the one that I will never get over to this day is the 2015 Final Four loss to Wisconsin, ruining our dreams of a 40-0 perfect season. And the worst thing about the 2010 and 15 seasons is that Duke came in and swooped in and got both those national titles that we should have had.
Wade, thanks for the call, man. I'd give you the hug, but Kentucky's won some more too, at least. And Wade makes a great point. Some of the losses that leave a mark are so indelible in the history of the sport as well,
right?
That you see them all the time. Or another instance of it happening in a regular season game harkens to that memory for the announcers or the fans.
Like, well, let's go back to this date.
Tell me any time in any sport where timeouts are finite.
Yeah.
That somebody calls a timeout that the team doesn't have left. You tell me about that one.
I mean, it's called pulling a Weber.
How about
it has its own name?
How about a Hail Mary that the quarterback threw from his own 30-yard line? Right? Matt in Arizona. What's up, Matt? You're on the Rich Eisen show.
Transplanted from Long Island.
Okay, bud.
2001 World Series.
Oh, man.
Mariano throws the ball into center field. Very, very disappointed. Couldn't even watch the guy score from second base. Horrible, horrible, horrible.
You were there? Were you there for that one, or just in?
I was in New York at the time. Game 4, I saw Jeter hit the home run that won the game into right center field, right corner, and we had the game. And one of Mariano's headaches and heartbreaks, I'm sure. Number 2, in the basement, 9 years old, Philco radio, game blacked out with my dad. Rest in peace. Colts beat the Giants in the greatest game ever.
Oh, okay.
Love the blue. Love blue.
Attaboy. Thanks for the call, Matt in Arizona. Transplanted New Yorker there. I was in the stands. Game 7, 2001. Bank One Ballpark. I was in the stands sitting next to a certain correspondent for Fox Sports West, covering the game for them. My wife, future wife, Susie Schuster, sitting right next to me. 8th inning, Mariano came in because Torrey was pressing that button to win 4 in a row. Obviously, we all understand that was 2001, 9/11, New York City. And I will never forget it. Mariano came in the 8th inning, an old school Rivera multiple inning save coming in. And he dominated the 8th to the point where before Susie and I left to go to our respective posts to cover the post game, the wives of the Diamondback players were crying. They thought this thing's over.
Yep.
Then the 9th inning hit. 9th inning hit. Remarkable World Series, just for so many different reasons.
I'm actually going to take a pretty recent one. I've watched LeBron James play probably 1,000 basketball games, and the best one I've ever seen him play was in Game 1 of the 2018 NBA Finals when J.R. Smith forgot to score at the end of the game, and there was a block charge call that was overturned, and LeBron was just magnificent that night. I think he scored 51. Every time the Warriors would be up 7, and LeBron would just score 7, and, it was amazing. And then, of course, he breaks his hand after the game, and the whole series goes off the rails, and then he goes to L.A. So that's just the ramifications of that game and just how well he played in that game and that whole playoff, just ending like that. I know it's only been a year, so it's hard to say I can't get over it, but I have a hard time believing I won't feel this way in 20 years because who knows when the Cavs are ever going to be good again.
Eric, thanks for the call, brother. Like I said, you could have gone in any different direction. There's drive, there's fumble, there's so much more.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.